Breaking news. Double convicted murderer James Williams III has been released from prison and is back on the streets effective immediately for not the first time, but the second time in the last year or so. James Williams III will have an opportunity to wreak havoc on the streets of central Mississippi, just like we warned you he would before he got released last time. He got sent right back to prison within 6 months for a DUI that saw him wreck his vehicle into a ditch in the middle of the daylight on a Friday, on a football Friday in Pearl, Mississippi. I want to say it was possibly homecoming. He's out drunk driving in the middle of the day and wrecks his vehicle in a ditch. Gets out, walks inside the oil change place. The police show up. They said, "Hey, man, whose vehicle is that wrecked in the ditch?" They say it's that guy's. And he got sent back to prison. Parole revoked. Let's go over to Kingfish's website real quick. I'm going to give you a little backstory on this guy. This is a current photo of him. This is Zeno Mangum's page here. Zeno's mother was James Williams III's stepmother. She was murdered in calculated cold blood by James. He also murdered his father in a premeditated murder. He tried to poison him for a week with rat poison. That wasn't working fast enough, so he murdered him. I think he shot him. He cut him up, put him in Rubbermaid tubs or garbage bags or something like that over in South Jackson, brought him out here to Brandon to Shallow Park and just left him to rot. I hate to be so blunt about it, but I want to paint the honest picture of what happened and the type of cold-blooded individual this is that the Mississippi Parole Board has let back out onto the streets of central Mississippi. They let him out. We warned everybody. Petitions were signed. Hell was raised. The Mississippi Parole Board said, "Damn all y'all. We don't give a damn about y'all. We don't care about your kids. We don't care about your families. We damn sure don't care about you. We're letting the killer out." Within 6 months, he got a DUI and was sent right back. He was supposed to go for a year, but his lawyers have done some shisty shenanigans. I ain't saying it's illegal. I'm just saying it's shisty. They should know this guy deserves to be in prison, and shame on them for doing all they could to get him out. Let's go over to jacksonjambalaya.com and tell you the story. Keep in mind, this upcoming Wednesday, Zeno Mangum will be on the radio show, and we'll be talking about this from the family member's perspective. This is an old picture of him here. He don't look like that no more. This is from jacksonjambalaya.com. Said, back on the streets. Convicted killer James Williams III is a free man yet again after he was arrested nearly a year ago. Williams was paroled in May of 23 after serving 18 years in prison for killing his father and stepmother when he was 17 years old. He got sentenced to 2 life sentences. After he got sentenced, keep in mind he was a minor when he did it. After he got sentenced, the Supreme Court changed the law or the rule or whatever it is, the sentencing mandates. It says you cannot sentence a minor to life without the possibility of parole. Well, the state of Mississippi heard that as, we can release this dude today. They didn't have to give him parole. They chose to. One of the big Six Flags Over Jesus mega churches here in Rankin County got involved and said he has been saved. He's leading our prison ministry. He's doing the Lord's work. We need him out here doing the Lord's work, not in prison. We need him out here doing it. Now, I think he needed to be in prison doing it. These churches do a lot of good work around here. This is where they should have kept their nose out of other folks' business, in my opinion. Anyway, so that's how he ended up getting paroled or being up for parole. The Supreme Court changed the rules a couple years back. Anyway, Pearl police charged Williams with first offense DUI in October of 23. His court date coming up in just about 14 days. Well, I guess that's 2 weeks on September 19th, 1 p.m. at Pearl Municipal Court. The Parole Board revoked his parole in November of 23 and ordered him to return to prison for at least 1 year. That wasn't even long enough. Williams sued, arguing his misdemeanor arrest only qualified for a technical center violation. A technical center violation, yeah, instead of a parole revocation. Since the arrest was Williams' first post-release offense, he would only serve 90 days in the TVC, hence the lawsuit. Hinds County Circuit Judge Debra Gibbs agreed with Williams. Well, of course, a Hinds County judge agreed with Williams. They love letting people out of prison and jail in Hinds County. She must have thought he was going to move to Hinds County because they love their killers over there. Anyway, the learned jurist stated the parole board determined that Williams' misdemeanor arrest was a violation of his parole. However, Judge Gibbs said the arrest was his first technical violation, thus qualifying him for a lesser sentence. The state conceded in its response the DUI arrest was only a technical violation and not grounds for revoking parole. Since Williams had already served 90 days in his prison post-release, the court ordered MDOC to release Williams immediately. So that's how we got to where we're at here. The parole board ought to be absolutely ashamed of themselves releasing a double murderer back on the streets. A double murderer. I mean, I don't know about y'all. I got kids out here in Rankin County. A guy that's been in prison for over half his life. There's no telling what's going on in that prison, for better or worse. I guess it really ain't no for better. I guess if he found God, that's for better. But I'm going to guess some worse went on. This guy gets out. He's got one of the grandest second chances of all grandest Hail Mary second chances. I mean, he cold-blooded, calculatedly murdered his dad and his stepmom over what he was hoping, I think it was like $800,000 in insurance money he thought he was going to get. Tried to poison them with rat poison for over a week, according to some of the reports I heard. That didn't work. Wasn't working fast enough. So that's when he shot him. Then he somehow, I believe he cut him up, put him in Rubbermaid boxes. He had a guy helping him. Brought him out here, right around the corner to Shiloh Park in Brandon, Mississippi, right where he's going to be living, right here in Rankin County. Sickening. See if I can pull up here. See if I can pull up a photo of Zeno's mother. So we got another updated photo of the murderer here. And look, people have reached out to me. Some people from the church, one of these local business owners reached out to me, and they were upset with me for fighting this fight. Said I needed to show this guy grace, that he was not the same guy, that if I would just sit down with him, I would see that. That's God's job, not mine. It is God's job to forgive this man, not me. All right, here's where he's going to be living. This is back in 23. The address was 247 Harold Road in Pillahatchee, Mississippi. So that's just 10 minutes down the road from here in Brandon. 10 minutes down the road. Let's see. We got a little bit of information here. What I'm trying to find is Zeno has photos of his mother he puts up. I was hoping to show you. I apologize for the beeping when I'm up on Facebook. I'm at the mercy of Facebook. All right, here is Zeno's mom, who was killed by this bastard. I think it's important to put a face. This is a real human being who was taken from us far too soon. There she is with young Zeno. And this is the only memories he has of his mother. Horrific. For no reason, for no good reason, the Mississippi Parole Board let him out in May of 23. Was it May of 23? Yeah, May of 23. They could have kept him in there. They lied to the family. They didn't send the proper notifications so they could advocate against it. The family had been fighting this for years. And they pulled some shenanigans to try to keep the family from being able to protest it. Every legislator in Rankin and Simpson County, I think Scott County too, pleaded with the parole board to not release this guy. They still did it. And within 6 months, he poo-pooed all on that second chance he got. That church that put his neck out on the line for him. Lost a lot of credibility with me. A lot of credibility with me. Poo-pooed all over him by going out here drinking and driving. Now, when I mentioned it was on a Friday, it was a football Friday in Pearl. Think about all your kids running up and down the roads, getting ready to go to homecoming, going out to eat before homecoming. This guy's drunk, driving up and down Highway 80. He could have hit any of them head on. Killed any of your children. Killed you, your grandparents, your friends, your neighbors, anybody. How does he get punished? A couple months in jail. We got to quit giving people second, third, fourth, fifth chances. His second chance comes from God now. Not from us, from God. He needs to be in that prison ministering people who don't think they got anywhere else to go. He don't need to be outside doing it. He needs to be talking to people that find their way in there, not out here. It's going to be a bad day. Some people roll up on this dude. I'm just saying. I ain't making no threats. I ain't saying I'm going to do anything, nothing like that. I'm just saying we're going to make sure people know he's out. And there's going to be people that see him and ain't got the mental capacity to not say something. And then God forbid he wants to fall foe. Again, I ain't making no threats. I'm just telling y'all worst case scenario here is highly likely. Highly likely that somebody takes this the wrong way. Somebody assumes that they got to protect their children proactively. Bad decision. That's all I got to say. I hope nothing happens. I'm praying, Lord, I'm praying that this fella gets, if they insist on him being out here with us, that he lives right and nobody messes with him. That's not what I want. I'm just scared that that's not what we're going to get because people are fired up about this. And we're going to make sure they stay fired up about it. Tune into the Clay Edwards Show Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. 103.9 FM, WYAB. As always, you can check out the podcast if you miss the radio show live. Just search Clay Edwards Show wherever you download podcasts, stream music, and more. Be on the lookout. There's a double murderer back on the streets in Rankin County. His name is James Williams III. Tune into the show next Wednesday. We're going to have Zeno on it, telling you the family story, telling you just how bad the parole board screwed the family on this deal. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe, keep your eyes peeled. There's bad guys amongst us everywhere.